All right. Shalom, Kohalo, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, salute to the hopeful elect. Now, earlier I was doing some research. Well, actually, I was doing some brainstorming, while I was at work. And I was watching the brother, the elder, Manatsaba, Salaki, if I pronounce your name wrong, brother, elder. But the elder did a beautiful lesson earlier today. His channel was GMS Narrator, South Carolina. I believe it's 7, GMS Narrator, South Carolina 7. And he did a video on these so-called woke, these fake woke pro-black Jake. These Jakes, man, they all sold out. They all of them sold out. But anyway, I wanted to get into this point what Kanye was saying about the small hats. We all know him as Amalek. Amalek is the grandson of Esau, and Esau is our enemy. Esau, the so-called white man, right? So these demons on the left-hand side, the Amalekites that own everything, the small hats, right? So what he was saying, we all knew this information. Kanye ain't say nothing that the elders and apostles, or even us, had said. We've been bringing out this information from the brothers, from the top brothers on down. We have been saying these things, and I know Kanye been watching our videos. Certain brothers in the camps. He been watching our videos, and what he said was right. They do own everything, and this guy. The brothers, the Akim, did a lesson on this guy some years back. And I always remembered when they did that. I forgot what Elder did a video on this guy right here. But he was a so-called small hats. And a lot of these small hats actually were the ones funding the slave trade. Because I remember back in the day, we used to have to go to the library to look up things. But now it's at the tip of your finger. You don't have to go to the library. You could just look it up. And that's one of the fortunate things we got in this world. Now these days, because you used to have to go to the library to look stuff up like this. But it's out there. It's put out there. They own everything. Lock. What's the saying? Lock, barrel, lock, step. I butchered that, but they own everything, So Kanye, he wasn't lying on that. He was right about that. But we know this at Great Millstone. We've been bringing out this information. So let's go over this guy. He was a small hat, Aaron Lopez. So let's read a little bit. I'm gonna go into it. Just a simple Google search. The information is out there, All right, it says Aaron Lopez, born Darte Lopez, was a merchant, and a lot of these small hats, the one that Kanye was talking about, the one that the guys that he sold out to, or what you call it, made a pact with. A lot of these celebrities, all these celebrities, they made a pact or made a deal with these small hats, and their king or their father is Satan. So when you make a deal with these small hats, you're making a deal with Satan. So it says was a merchant, a slave trader. See, a slave trader. A lot of it's a book. Who wrote that book? the secret relation between Jews and blacks, which we are the real Jews. So that's another book. I believe Farrakhan was pushing that book back in the day. You know, and I can't never pronounce this word. Philanthropist. Yeah, philanthropist. And that just means philanthropist. Yeah. That just means like a business. Somebody that invests in things. So it says in Colonial, Rhode Island, through his varied commercial ventures, he became the wealthiest person in Newport, Rhode Island. In 1761 and 1762, Lopez unsuccessfully sued the Rhode Island government for citizenship. All right, so we know that this guy was a slave trader and a merchant. So let's dig a little deeper. It says Duarte Lopez was born in 1731 in Lisbon, Portugal. And the first slave ships came from Portugal, Spain. So there you have it. You know, it says, now listen up. It says he belonged to a family of conversos. Let's look that up. Because convert. Okay. Wow. Convert. Wow. From Latin, converted, turn around, was a Jew who converted to Catholicism. Okay. In Spain. So a lot of these, that's the spirit. A lot of these small hats are converts. Anyway, they're not the real Jews. So it says he belonged to a family of Portugal Jews. See? So you small hats, y'all had a lot in our downfall, our destruction. So y'all gonna pay because y'all the top. And I'm gonna get some scriptures in a minute, but y'all the main ones that had a hand in our downfall. So I'm gonna get a scripture in a minute. 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who's the wicked? Esau. The so-called white man who's running everything. It says he cover up the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who is he? So you devils covered up the real picture of the Lord, the real image of the Lord. So that's one that's a major wicked thing that you did to that image and image is a important thing to a nation's confidence. You know, image is an important thing to a nation's confidence. So that was one of the things that destroyed us. And the weaker vessel worshiped the so-called white man. You know why? Because he got his image up as the savior. He got his image up at every great person. When you was in school, every great person was white, or so-called white. They painted him to be white. Mozart, all the great people in history, King James, what's the other one? It's another famous King the Black Prince, Edward the Black Prince. They painted all these people white. Give me another one. My mind just went blank a little bit, but all the great people, they painted them white. So that's what they do to destroy our confidence. So that's another thing. Let's go back to the information on Aaron Lopez. Yeah, back on the names. Names like King Arthur. The Knights in the Round Table. Or people like Mozart, Beethoven, Beethoven, and others. They were all so-called Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. But back then they were called Moors or black, Negro, they were all Hebrew Israelites. So let's dig a little bit into this devil, Aaron Lopez, Aaron Lopez. And you better believe he came back, through regeneration or reincarnation. This guy is probably back of today. He's back. He's probably back now. We don't know who he is, but he's probably one of them devils that's up in the hierarchy, because he was around in the 1700s, right, 1731 to 1782. So he's definitely lived a couple lifetimes, and he's most likely he's either back or in the spirit world. So it says Lopez, and he's a small hat. He's one of those small hats, right? So we read a little bit of the early life. So he was we ain't gonna go into that. You can read it, if you brothers get a little spare time, you can go into this, right, and do the history on this devil. But okay, it's reading on. Let's go into the merchant and slave trade. It says Lopez established himself as a shoe keeper in Newport shortly after his arrival. By 1755, he was buying and selling goods throughout Rhode Island and dealing with agents in Boston and New York. And a lot of those small hats, they operate on the East Coast in these early times, because they, they were doing what the Rothschilds were doing in banking, or money lenders, which they're really money holders. They hold your money and make entrance off of it. So they're called money lenders, but they really money holders. So it says, dealing with agents in Boston and New York. One of Lopez's early business entrance was the trade in spermaceti, if I pronounced it right, is a waxy substance found in the head cavity of the sperm whale. Yeah, see this right here, this oil is they use the light lamps, right? And now I believe they use them for light, right? So that's the wax. Okay. All right. So, all right. It says Lopez built a candle making factory in Newport. All right. We're going to skip down. We're going to go to. All right. Here we go. Lopez expanded his trade beyond the North American coastline, and by 1757 had major interest in the West Indian trade. So he was trading Israelites down at the West Indies, trading you Benjamites and you so-called Puerto Ricans, you tribe of Ephraim. So this devil was running it, basically, So these so-called Jews, which aren't Jews, these so-called the Amalekites got a big nerve. They were the main ones hand in hand in destroying our people. And they're still doing it to this day. So it says he also sent ships to Europe and the Canary Islands between 1761 and 1774. Lopez was involved in a slave trade. He probably was doing it longer than that, So you gotta dissect this information, because these devils ain't gonna say the whole thing. But it says historian Eli Faber determined Lopez underwrote 21 slave ships during a period in which Newport sent a total of 347 slave ships to Africa. So that's a lot of ships by the beginning of the American Revolution. So it says Lopez was involved in the slave trade. Historian Ali Faber determined Lopez underwrote 21 slave ships during a period in which Newport sent a total of 347 slave ships to Africa. By the beginning of the American Revolution, Lopez owned or controlled 30 vessels engaging in the European and West Indian trade and whale fisheries. By the early 1770s, Lopez had become the wealthiest person in Newport. So he was the wealthiest person. He was up there with the Rothschilds or whatever, or he might have been under them. He put it like this: he was one of them devils that had a hand in destroying us. And a lot of you Ephraimites and a lot of you what is tribe of I'm gonna just say Ephraim got the last name Lopez. Where did you get that last name Lopez from? Your slave master, my ex. She had her name was Ortiz. A lot of Ephraimites got the last name Ortiz. Where did you get that last name from? Your slave master. You know, and a lot that they were our names. That was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, our names going back to the Dark Ages. But they Esau took over and took everything from Jake, just like they did the Egyptians. They did Jake like that in Europe, and came over here and did Gad like that. You know, did Gad and Reuben like that. So he destroyed both of the tribes, both of the kingdoms, the northern and the southern kingdom. My last name is Wright. I don't want to be. I don't know if it don't matter. But my slave, that's a slave name, you know? Or Jones. You got people Jones. What else? A common name. Jackson. All those are slave names, man. So reading on, it says Lopez began by the early 1770s. Lopez had become the wealthiest person in Newport. His tax assessment was twice than any other resident. The reason he was successful was that his business interests were so diverse. He manufactured spermaceti, if I'm pronouncing it right, candles, ships, burros, rum, and chocolate. Okay, so you heard that? Candles, ships, barrels, rum. Don't that sound familiar? Let's go to the scriptures. All right, this is Joel 3, and I'm going to go to verse 3. It says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." So they had wine, rum, all types of things on those ships while they was shipping us. You know? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee." So those the so-called Jews, which we are the real Jews, but the Amalek, they own those ships that we were on. Yeah, let's go back. That's the it just came to my mind. The tribe of I got the sign right here. The tribe of Simeon got some of them got the last name Lopez. So the northern tribe got a lot of last names like that, right? Got a lot of Spanish names, and the southern tribe got a lot of English names. So both kingdoms were conquered by this damn devil, but we're going to conquer him in the end. But reading on, it says, I'm going to go down to this paragraph right here. It says, "In the mid-1770s, with growing tensions between Britain and the North American colonies, Lopez's fortune began to decline. The Continental Association enforced a boycott against trade with Britain. In October 1775, Salaki, I said 19, a Royal Navy force anchored outside Newport Harbor, and the population began to evacuate the city. In early So in early 1776, Lopez relocated to Portsmouth, Rhode Island, then to Providence, Boston, and finally to Leicester, Massachusetts. So this says historian Marilyn Kaplan described Lopez's losses during the American Revolution as monumental. So yeah, so when you brothers get a chance, y'all can look into this devil and look up this devil and bring out some more information on his um Amalekite. But I hope this was edifying to the body. Till again, shalom.